everyone. I, Dr. Mayura Deshmukh, Head and Assistant Professor, Department of Geology, Sri Shivaji Science College, Amravati. I welcome all the participants who have joined this course. Today we will discuss on aquifer and their types. You know, for groundwater occurrence, the two main properties are there. Okay, these properties are porosity and permeability. Okay. Porosity means to capacity to store the water, and permeability means to capacity to transmit water. These both properties are very important for groundwater occurrence or groundwater potential. Okay. On the basis of porosity and permeability, the rock classified into four types. These types are aquifer, aquifuge, aquiclude, then aquitard. Okay. Firstly, we will discuss on aquifer. Aquifer means a water bearing geological formation. Geological formation means it is a fundamental unit of lithostratigraphy. Okay. Now we will say aquifer. Aquifer means a water bearing geological formation capable of transmitting water through its pores at a rate of sufficient extraction by wells is called as an aquifer. In simple language, the rock has porosity and permeability properties. That rock is called as an aquifer. Okay. The in simple definition is that the geological formations which contain and yield sufficient amount of water is also called as a aquifer. Then alternatively, the aquifers are those rocks which have both properties porosity and permeability. Okay. This aquifer is suitable for groundwater occurrence and exploitation. Then examples are unconsolidated gravels, sand, sandstone, limestone, then weathered metamorphic rock, then fissure and jointed igneous rock, vesicular basalt. Okay, see in this figure, these are the unconsolidated gravels. Okay, the gravels has different size, shape. Okay, due to different size and shape, the gravels are interconnected to each other. That time some spaces are formed between that gravels. Okay, that spaces is called pore spaces, and in that pore spaces the groundwater is occur. Then this is the sand. Okay, then sandstone and limestone. This is a sandstone, this is limestone. Both are sedimentary rock, and both rock are porous and permeable. Then this is the vesicular basalt. Okay, in this figure you can see these are the different vesicles. Okay, these are the vesicles. There are number of vesicles are present in basalt. How two vesicles are formed? These vesicles are formed due to the emission of vapors. Okay, then next is the weathered metamorphic rock. See in this figure, due to weathering some cracks, fractures and color also change. Okay, this is the good aquifer. This is the gneiss rock. It is a example of metamorphic rock. Then see, this is the fissure and jointed igneous rock. This is a columnar basalt. In this columnar basalt, there is the columnar joints are there, and there is a some minor fissures are there. Okay, this is also good example for aquifer. Now we will see aquifuge. Aquifuge means no porosity. Due to lack of porosity, there is a no possibility of to transmit water or water percolation. Okay, a geological formation with no interconnected pores and hence can neither absorb or not transmit water is called as a aquifuge. Okay, normally aquifuge formations are igneous rock. Because of fineness of the individual grains, the porosity is very low. Aqueous is absolutely impermeable rock. Okay, in some time the granite rock show behave as a show aqueous and sometimes good aquifer. Why? Because secondary openings are present. Okay, due to secondary openings sometimes granite show aqueous and sometimes granite is a good aquifer. Okay, these are the examples of aquifuge. Okay, massive granite, then this is also massive granite, quartzite, charnockite. These are the example of aquifuge. Then aquiclude. Aquiclude means a rock body which may be porous but does not allow an easy and quick flow of water through it is called as a aquiclude. Means aquiclude is a porous but not permeable. Okay, the aquiclude has to store or to capacity to store water but not capacity to transmit water. A geological formation which can absorb water but cannot transmit significant amount is called as a aquiclude. The examples are clay, shale, mudstone. See in this photograph, this is the clay, this is the shales. There are different colors of shale. Then this is the mudstone. These are the good examples of aquiclude. Then aquitard. Okay, aquitard means a geological formations of rather impervious nature which transmit water at slow rate compared to aquifer well is called as a aquitard. Okay, means aquitard has low porosity and low permeability. The rock is porous permeable due to fractures, and this aquitard has limited groundwater occurrence. Okay, then examples of aquitard is clay lenses with interbedded with sand. Okay, see in this figure, these are the clay lenses. Okay, these clay lenses means small bodies of clay. It is formed due to form when the rock is formed. Okay, in that rock these lenses are formed. This is the good example of aquitard. Okay, now aquifer means to aquifer has porosity and permeability, both properties are there. Then aquefuge, there is a no porosity, no permeability. Then aquiclude, porosity is present, permeability absent. Then aquitard, low porosity, low permeability. Okay, now we will see types of aquifers. On the basis of occurrence and field situation, the aquifer can be classified into 5 types, such as unconfined aquifer, confined aquifer, then semi-confined, semi-unconfined. Semi-unconfined means perch aquifer and rich aquifer. These are the 5 types of aquifer. Firstly, we will see groundwater occurs in the saturated soil and rock below the water table. Okay, if the aquifer is shallow enough and permeable enough to allow water to move through it at a rapid rate, then people can drill wells into it and withdraw water. Okay, then level of the water table can naturally change over time due to the changes in weather, then weather cycles, precipitation patterns, then stream flow, geological changes, or people use means people lot much pumping is there, that's why the level of water table change. Okay, firstly we will see unconfined aquifer. When groundwater is in direct contact with the atmosphere through open pore spaces of the overlying soil or rock, then this aquifer is called as an unconfined aquifer. Okay, see in this figure, this is the saturated zone. In this saturated zone, the groundwater is in direct contact with the atmosphere through the pore spaces, the overlying soil or rock. This aquifer is called as a unconfined or water table aquifer. Okay, In this aquifer, water tables serve as the upper surface of zone of saturation. Okay, this is in this figure. This is the unconfined aquifer. This is the upper surface of zone of saturation, and this is the lower layer of impermeable layers. Okay, then it is a permeable bed saturated with water table serve as the upper surface of the zone of saturation. It is otherwise be called as a water table aquifer. Okay, in this aquifer which water is present is called as a unconfined or phreatic water. Then water table changes in form of depending upon the recharge, discharge, pumpage of well and permeability. A well driven into an unconfined aquifer will indicate a static water level of that area. Okay, or of that area. A well driven into unconfined aquifer that will indicate a static water level of that location or of that area. Such well are called as a unconfined well, non-artesian well or gravity well. Okay, see in this figure, this is the unconfined well, or this is also called as a water table well. Now we will see confined aquifer. What is the confined aquifer? It is a completely saturated aquifer which is underlain and overlain by impervious layer. Means this aquifer present between two impervious layer, it is called as a confined aquifer. Okay, see in this figure, this is the confined aquifer present between two impervious layer. Okay, the pressure of water is higher than that of the atmosphere. Okay, water in wells stand above the top of the aquifer rather than storage changes. Okay, see in this water level is increased. It is also called as a artesian aquifer. The imaginary surface to which water rises in well tapping the confined aquifer is known as a piezometric surface. See in this figure, this is the piezometric surface. Piezometric surface means imaginary surface to which water rises in a well is called as a piezometric surface. At some location, piezometric level higher than that of land surface. Okay, and well drive in that aquifer at such location, the water will flow easily. See, this well is called as a artesian well or flow well. Means the water is easily flow because of piezometric level is higher than that of land surface. Okay, see this is the artesian well, this is the unconfined well or water well, and this is the artesian well or confined well. Okay, and this is the largest well, largest confined or largest artesian well in United States, Oklahoma. Then we will see semi-confined aquifer. In this aquifer is completely saturated aquifer bounded above by a semi-pervious and below by an impervious layer. Okay. Simple is that confined and semi-confined difference is that the confined aquifer means the aquifer between two impervious layer. Okay, and semi-confined means the aquifer between impervious and semi-pervious layer, semi-impervious layer. Okay, that is the semi-confined aquifer. With the result of that, the draft from such aquifer causes some lowering of water table. Such aquifer also called as a leaky aquifer. Why it is called as leaky? Because see in this figure. Okay, this is the confined, this is the semi-confined. This confined aquifer between two impervious layers. There is a no leakage, but semi-confined aquifer between Semi-impervious. Semi-impervious means there is a some transmit of water. Due to this semi-impervious layer, the water is leakage through this semi-impervious layer. Okay, that is also called as a leaky aquifer. Okay, in this aquifer, the piezometric layer is low. Then we will see perch aquifer. It is a special case of confined aquifer. Sorry, same special case of unconfined aquifer. Okay, impervious layer of limited horizontal area is located between the groundwater table of a unconfined aquifer and ground surface is called as a perch aquifer. See in this figure, these are the perch aquifer. Okay, perch aquifer means the water body is in unsaturated zone above the water table level is called as a perch aquifer, and the water table is called as a perch water table. Okay, it is also called as a semi unconfined aquifer. These aquifer exist only for a relatively short time as they drain into unconfined aquifer. This aquifer is situated above main water table level. Okay, this is the main water table level and this is situated above the water table level. Then only temporary water is available in that aquifer. See, this is the perch water table. Okay, and this is the perch aquifer. Okay, in this is the perch well is there. Okay, this is the main water table. Okay, the perch the water body formation above the main water in unsaturated zone is called as a perch aquifer and the water table is called as a perch water table. Then last, rich aquifer. Rich aquifer means the massive groundwater reservoir at a reasonable depth is called as a rich aquifer. Means massive groundwater body or groundwater reservoir at a reasonable depth is called as a rich aquifer. Sand and gravel are the good example of rich aquifer. The value of soil of rocks as a water bears depends upon their porosity and size of their particles. Okay, high porosity does not mean that the aquifer is high water yielding. Okay, then water movements in aquifer is depend upon their permeability. Okay, water movements in aquifer is highly dependent on the permeability of that aquifer material. This is the rich aquifer. Okay, these are the references. Then stay home, stay safe, take care yourself. Thank you.